Yeah, and I do like that Los Ratones has notified their main win condition.
Yeah.
Nemesis on Ryze. To highlight what we said in our last game, Varus is now banned, what looks like on red side, but Varus is actually banned from the first pick team, LR, meaning that even if Varus is open, they don't want the first pick it. They would way rather lean into this Ryze and make sure this is their central strategy. Nemesis is the Lee Sin Al-Gaib, he's the main character and he will be the player they are playing around together with this Pantheon. Also the Caitlyn on for Crownie, I think will also have a lot of help sent his way so he can push and kind of get those plates to scale up.
I generally really like Crownie's Caitlyn. I think he has strong laning phase with it. Yesterday we saw a couple of mistakes, acing the whole being channel from too short range and having people jump on top of him immediately, but I think he does put in a lot of lane pressure for it. And into something like a Neeko, you do need that lane pressure because Neeko is so good with a strong AD carry, just pushing you back in the lane, getting prio, allowing that jungler to go wherever he wants.
Yeah, and circling back on the Gragas point we made before, seeing what Shifters is drafting now, you need to get some disengage. You have a Vi, a Neeko, and a Taliyah all looking to dive your carries. You need to make sure your low-range mage Ryze has a little bit of peeling. Same with Caitlyn. They are not very good to peeling themselves. So I really want LR to now draft a little bit of disengage, something to peel the Ryze and Caitlyn so they can actually deal damage in fights, instead of just being driven by the Vi, by the Neeko. And now, for everyone's million-dollar question, will they ban Gnar?
Let's see. Where are you going to go, Los Ratones? We've got 30 seconds left to think about it. We have the Bard and the Karma banned away by Shifters, and better taken out by Los Ratones, another dive threat, which Rooster could play up towards that top side. Wouldn't be surprised if Shifters do look towards something like the Kai'Sa for themselves.
They banned it!
There is the Gnar ban. Okay, Los Ratones, they've learned. Took them 4 days, but day 5 and day 6 are going well in terms of Gnar bans. Shifters, where are you going to go with your first pick here? Likely looking towards that support role because you kind of want to leave top lane counter for last. You can also leave support counter for last if Trymbi really wants it, but sorry, for AD carry counter, but you like Paduck can just pick an AD carry here.
Yeah, I mean here you're just looking for anything that can kind of hold the Caitlyn lane. It's not gonna be Vayne, I'm sorry. It's gonna be a either utility AD carry like an Ashe or a sorry, I can't speak, Jhin, but it actually is going to be the Lucian, which is a little bit unconventional with the Neeko pairing, because usually you see a Lucian either with like a Braum or with a Nami that Rekkles is now hovering, and Lucian Neeko, not really a lane I've seen a lot, but I think this is one of Paduck's more comfortable champions. I remember in the LCKL, I'm pretty sure it was one of his most played, and he's really enjoying these AD carries with a lot of agency that can dash in and look to make picks with that cooling.
Yeah, it's a 60% win rate on it all time over 20 games, so pretty comfortable on the pick. Lucian's passive was changed a while ago to work with all CC rather than all slows as well, so it does work really well with the Neeko. Nami is the lock into it. Really, Rekkles just looking to bolster up that Caitlyn so that he can get more push in the lane, but it's going to be tricky because that Nami is ever caught out, like you are very dead to Tangle Barbs and the Light Slinger coming out from Lucian.
Yeah, I mean here you really need a self-sufficient top lane pick because you can't allow your jungler to ever go top, and it will be the Gragas for Baus, which I adore. It's disengage, and it's something that you don't really need to put attention on because you have a Caitlyn Nami that will want to push up and hit the enemy tower. You also have a Ryze that needs to fight for prio, and you can't leave these two lanes alone, which means that the top laner will be left alone. So if you pick something like a Kled Blind...
Nidalee top?
That would be very bad. But it's actually going to be a Nidalee top versus Gragas, which is a complete lane bully maniac. It's a Korean classic. She will push into Gragas heavily and make life hell for Baus. But I do think that the Nidalee will fall off heavily late game. So this game is all about, can LR stabilize their lanes? Can they get to that 2 free item breakpoint where they are stronger in the 5v5? Because when I look at Shifters comp, there's a lot of things going on, but when I look at LR comps, it's really clear what they want to do.
We have seen a couple of Nidalee tops from Rooster in the past when he was in the LCKCL last year. He played Thunder Sky Trinity for Sterax Nidalee, went 50% on it, but not something we see too commonly at all. As you say, should be able to get the push on the top side onto Baus in the early game, but later on, AD Nidalee against a team that has solid disengage and a point-and-click stun if you ever try and jump in can become a little bit tricky. I've seen a few Nidalees with echoes. I think in the LCS, I saw Jungle Nidalee go Ludens into Echoes of Helia and was kind of just a heal bot later on in the game. I'd be surprised if we see that from a top lane Nidalee. It doesn't really suit the style that you want to go for, but there are a few builds kind of circulating their way around the world right now.
I mean, in the jungle, you're really leaning into this massive E, human form E, which is just a massive attack speed steroid and a really big heal, which is kind of where you get your utility on in the mid to late game. Meanwhile, top lane, it's all about lane bullying. And I think here, Shifters has noticed that Baus in the laning phase might be a little bit volatile and easy to deal with, so they really gave Rooster a lot of tools now to shut down Baus. And it's gonna be about, can Baus stabilize this top lane matchup or really just get ran over by this evil kitty cat?
A grasp of the Undying in the top lane there for Nidalee, just looking to trade as often as possible.
Baus.
What's wrong with a
You are
Sapphire
so
Crystal,
greedy,
man?
Baus. You're going against the biggest lane bully and you're going Sapphire Crystal with refill pots.
Yeah, but your passive heals you up. You know, the more casts you get off, the more healing you get. Perhaps the Doran Shield would have been a little bit easier here for Baus. Has gone for the magical boots in the secondary tree alongside Phase Rush, so it's going to be a little tricky. It's Jack of all trades.
Yeah, I would love to track the early top lane trades.
Yeah, we should look.
Because I really want to see how Rooster plays around these bushes.
Yeah.
The bushes, on how he actually punishes Baus for the Sapphire Crystal, because going Sapphire Crystal against Nidalee top is really, really filled of bravado, for a nicer way of saying it. Because it will be tough for him to get through this early lane phase, already walking into trap. He has started the queue, and will just look to farm up. But Rooster here will try to look to get his Grasp auto attacks. The thing with Nidalee is that Grasp is nerfed for range champions, right? But if you throw out your auto attack and then go into Cougar form while the auto attack is flying, you still get the melee amplification of that auto attack Grasp proc. So, which is why it's so annoying to trade against Nidalee, because she basically has Grasp as if she was a melee character on a ranged character, which is very impressive.
Yeah, you can see Baus already losing about a third of his HP. Level 2 hit at the same time on the bot side, so Rekkles trying to step forward a little bit. Trymbi with the Tangled Barbs. Some damage down onto Crownie, but Paduck has lost half of his health and is forced back behind the wave here. Does have the home guards obviously coming out of base, so it looks like he is just going to try and get that recall off. Knows it's a cannon wave, being the third wave of the game, allowing him just to speed his way back out. Gone for refillable to try and pop himself up in a lane that's likely to be heavy on the trading.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I think Ellar's bot lane has been stepping up a lot in these past few games. I think Crownie had some really good games, and here again, getting a nice lead in the bot side, actually, forcing an early recall off the Lucian will allow them to get a little bit more control. And I think it's been one of the more positive things. I can't speak English today, Medic.
That's fine, man.
It's one of the more positive things about Ellar recently, where the bot lane is actually generating a lot of pressure for Ellar, and was a big reason together with Nemesis yesterday why they were able to pick up that win.
I very much agree with you. They had a lot of pressure in the early game. Barrier coming out from Crownie there, trying to make sure his recall could go off. If you have that shield and you don't take damage to your health bar, you can still finish your recall, but the second part of the Pot Blossom did finish casting, so his recall was slightly delayed, as he will now be coming back out of base with a longsword advantage. Boukada looking towards the mid lane, realizing Nemesis a key threat here for Los Ratones. Vault Breaker, Ghost out from Nemesis. There's the Unraveled Earth, has to flash away from the seismic shove. Still hit with the Vault Breaker, and the denting blows will force Nemesis low. That's both of his summoners exchanged for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, that is a bit of a bummer. He used the early Ghost to try to run out, but Nuke lands that shove, and he actually still has the flash, and he gets chunked, so he loses everything in that gank. Really nice find by Boukada to loop around the vision and find a little pocket of Fog of War where... Because I think Nemesis felt a bit safe, because Velja was clearing bot side, and Velja was kind of hovering there, but Boukada had snuck in the bush there. But here, Velja is looking for his own play, trying to loop around there on the Lucian. Lucian's quite far up here.
Good ward timing from Paduck, meaning that he can't just walk straight through that tri-bush. And because of that, Velja will decide to back away. We saw Baus TPing back up towards the top side. Rooster with about a 3-wave lead in that matchup, one we're definitely keeping our eye on throughout this game. Baus been solo killed in lane 5 times out of 5. So far has 13 isolated deaths, which is not the best stat to have. I will say, Baus getting solo killed now has a 20% win rate. Yeah. So perhaps, you know, it's erring up. It used to be 0%, now slowly working its way towards about a 50.
Glass is definitely half full,
yeah.
Right? I mean, here Baus is doing pretty fine. I mean, This matchup is really hard, and you are expected to go down, but if Baus doesn't die and just keeps losing a little bit of farm and maybe a few plates here or there, he is doing his job. So far, so good. This bounce looks tricky. You see Nidalee does not want to let... If we can show the camera once again, topside here, there's a really cool thing happening. This wave is trying to crash, and Baus can't really do it just because how strong Nidalee is, so he doesn't push this wave. He's just hovering in this bush here, trying to poke him, make him go up to try to push his wave out. And when he does that, that's when you hit him. Baus already losing so much health. And now Rooster has converted this bounce into his own slow push and will keep looking to push in Baus, keep getting those plates, and eventually I think we're going to see either Nuke or Boukada rotate up here and look for a dive, because Baus is taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, it still doesn't have that teleport. It's about 2/3 of its cooldown left, so Baus needs to be so cautious here. Not yet level 6, needs probably 3 or 4 of these minions to crest over towards that mark. Rooster goes in for the pounce. Good body slam. Baus hits 6 but dies before he can get the explosive cask off. Great dive from Rooster there, using the enhanced pounce range to get back into range for the damage onto Baus.
Yeah, I mean, really clever by Rooster as well, because he knows either Baus eats the jump, and then he doesn't get turret aggro, so he's not in any danger. And if he doesn't eat the jump, it's actually impossible to cancel Nidalee's melee Q, the little bite thing she does where she jumps up. So no matter what happens there, Baus is dead. He was just stuck in checkmate kinda, and Rooster played that really well.
Great stuff from Rooster. Gets himself about 1,000 gold lead, the majority of the lead for Shifters coming through that top side. Baus did hold on to his flash and does have that explosive cask, so if Velja does path up towards here, maybe after hitting level 6 from his Krugs and his red, there's a risk for Rooster. Does have the pounce to try and escape, the movement speed as well in that Cougar form. Can get him out of dodge, but could be a little bit tricky, as Nemesis is having to accept a lot of pressure here in mid. Still about even in terms of gold. Rooster trying to hold the wave here, trading onto Baus. Velja is over towards his Razorbeaks. Rooster looking for those spears to connect, but Baus on the wrong side of that trade. Crownie falling low as well, down towards the bottom lane, as Paduck and Trymbi able to chunk him out. In the end, not really too much happening with it being a cannon wave. They can back away. They still have the Tidecaller's Blessing and the ebb and flow, so Crownie can be topped up before he gets back into the wave. Boukada with 6 though, and now the pressure that Rooster has begun to enact becomes harder, because Velja can get invaded. They know Rooster can move from top. Nuke is moving from mid lane. You do have a Realm Warp for Nemesis, but at the moment you will be taking an uneven trade.
Yeah, I mean, I think the pressure is the mounting here in the top side, as you say. The Merc spy by Rooster just really shuts down everything that Gragas wants to do. Suddenly, even if he connects with the body slam onto you, it doesn't hurt that much.
Nemesis no flash. Boukada unable to get in range. We'll have another Vault Breaker in a moment. 3 seconds. There's the Realm Warp. Cease and Desist coming out to stop the Realm Warp from being cast. Seismic Shove coming down as well as the Grand Starfall from Velja. Trymbi moving first. Nemesis the first to fall in the battle, as Boukada will be the second. Velja trying to trade back onto Nuke. Paduck has moved his way up from the bottom side of 3v2 now in favor of Shifters. Paduck dashing forward with that relentless pursuit, culling across the wall. Won't find its mark as Trymbi secures the second of the fight for Shifters.
Yeah, the Tangle Bomb's really stopping there. You saw Velja was trying to get to the wall so he could flash over and get to safety, but right before he was in flash range, the snare from Trymbi comes out and shuts that down, as here Paduck's looking to get a little bit of a trade onto Crownie. I don't think anything serious will happen here, just a little bit of damage. Dodges the Q. Happy times. And here, LR, they are struggling. They are getting shut down both top, and now Nemesis dying, as we look at his play again, will be quite detrimental. Nemesis realizes he can't walk towards bot because Neeko is actually first here, so he tries to get the ult down, but Boukada instantly flash ult to stop that from going through. Here, Velja doesn't get the trade kill here, but does end up going down here in the end.
Yeah, it continues to try and trade onto Nuke, realizing it's not the easiest to get out. Unfortunate for Paduck that Trymbi takes this kill, or gets this kill, we'll say, on the support. Paduck would have been very happy to get the extra gold in his pockets, but it's a 2k lead now for Shifters. Boukada going to start up these grubs. Baus dodging away from him, was looking perhaps towards that mid lane. Something we've seen him do a lot is kind of sack a wave on top to go down towards mid.
Yeah, and getting grubs for Nidalee is just so nice.
Oh, good flash forward from Vedius. Really nicely done. Trymbi turns into a minion so he can't be targeted, and manages to walk away. Really nice. You can see Trymbi also thinking about the Pop Blossom, but doesn't find it. Boukada will find the grubs.
Yeah, a little bit overzealous from Paduck there. You're taking the grubs topside, which is so good for your Nidalee. When this Nidalee gets her grubs, she will do so much damage to this tower because she's constantly under no threat. There's no... I mean, Pantheon can gank her, but I don't think they actually have the damage to kill her yet. So she'll just keep getting plates and plates and plates. So all you have to do there as Paduck is to wait for your jungle to take the grubs, come back bot, then you can play aggressive. Really good punish by Laure, really nice find by Velja, and really important for them to get a foothold in this game.
Also, Baus putting the vision on the grubs meant they knew Boukada was up towards that top side, so Good timing overall by Los Ratones. They managed to get themselves a second kill on the board. Both of them going over to Velja, who's building up towards that sundered sky. Boukada has been active on the map in the early game as well, but with Nemesis now having his flash back up, it's a little bit harder to find a gank on this Ryze.
Yeah, I mean, it is still really good if he can force it, because if this Ryze loses his flash, suddenly he needs to play so far behind, will allow that Taliyah to push, and will allow Taliyah to interact with both side lanes so heavily. So I think that's still a really good plan to make. If you can force Nemesis flash, the game will be really difficult to play here. You see Trymbi pulling up as a minion.
No, man, just count, guys, okay? There are fewer minions in cannon minion waves, and Neeko's will try and play with your mind, because like, there should be 7, there's only 6. Oh, or there's 7, yes, there should be 7, it's fine. Just count the minions. In a cannon wave, there were 6.
I'm waiting. Someone is dying to the Neeko on a cannon wave soon, because they will feel very normal seeing 3 melee minions on a cannon wave.
Exactly, man.
It's gonna happen sooner or later.
Trymbi unable to find the Pop Blossom, and you're trying to burn those summoners from Ryze, put him in a slightly more susceptible position to the damage, as Rooster kind of left on an island towards this top side, continues just to chip away at that tower.
Already has his quest completion as well now. He's doing so well in his lane. Up 1.5k gold. Vedius, Medic.
I can be Vedius.
You can be Vedius? Medius?
Well, I want the LEC back so we can. That's what he does.
Yeah, that's all he does all the time. Yeah.
Lost Ark. I love Lost Ark. It's a great game. Whales.
I'm just thinking about the animal. It's like he's really passionate about the animal. Fish, aquatic.
It's so much he can brag about though. The guy, he knows how to fly. You know that? He can fly planes.
What?
He's an air cadet. He's such a cool dude, this Vedi.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's, my wife will get mad if I say more. Rooster should be able to take this top lane tower. Does so.
You're in
Baus
danger.
low on mana, in danger. Now basically out of it entirely. The chase coming out from Rooster as Baus has built himself a library. 4 books there, and looks like Rooster wants to take one out. Baus trying to escape the late.
Oh, he's so literate.
Well.
He read that coming a mile away. He had so many books. What a play by Baus. Escape artist gets out there. Really nice. I mean, that looked really scary. I thought he for sure was dead there to Nidalee flash pounce over the wall, but he scratches out, has a little bit of mana to body slam over that wall and gets out to safety, as now Laure will try to get his dragon. Looks like it won't be contested by Shifters, as Boukada is looking to get some of Velja's topside instead.
Yeah, stealing away those top camps. It's an Hex Optics first here for Crownie, was buffed slightly. It used to be that you needed to hit someone from outside 700 range. Now it's 600 range, which means it does synergize relatively well with the Caitlyn. The further someone is away from you, the more damage you do to them. And if you get a takedown, your range then extends by 100. Baus here. He's a little overextended, but he should be fine. Trymbi's coming across as well. Good vision from Baus means that he knows Boukada is on these Krugs. Doesn't know that Trymbi is waiting around the corner. He does still have his explosive cast, so not the easiest gank to enact.
I feel like they could have went there. I feel like he's taking so much space. The Vi ult into Tangle Barbs connects, so I think that's really dangerous by Baus. The Phasic there does end up getting away with it. Will just be the Krug take from Shifters, as they want to now shift their vision back into the bot side there to put some pressure on this bot side tower, because I don't think they want to let Crownie do whatever he wants anymore. I think they want to start using their Vi, using their Taliyah to put some pressure on this Caitlyn, because she has been doing really good in bot lane so far, and they don't like that.
Yeah, you want to try and deny more off the map if you can. Get some gold into Lucian's pockets as well. Get some more into Taliyah so that they are strong in their individual matchups. Culling out onto Crownie, able to dodge the majority of it. Velja is waiting just next to the tower here. Does have that Grand Starfall, so could look for a gank if Shifters go for the dive. And I think that's partly the reason they didn't look for the dive on Baus top, is they knew the dragon had just been taken. Reset's likely to come out from Velja and Rekkles, and a Grand Starfall into a tidal wave could have turned the gank around with a good explosive guard.
I mean, for sure, you got 2 camps, you got out the deep push, you got your resets. That is still a big win. You don't need to go for the whole chicken, only the drumstick. That's what Wild Turtle always said when I played with him.
Oh, really?
Like, guys, we're always going for the whole chicken. We need to just get the drumstick and be happy with it.
Moderation is key.
Moderation is key for everything in life, I think.
Yeah, apparently so.
Just get the drumstick.
just a schmackerel of drumstick for me, please.
Yes, give me a little bit.
Right now, Los Ratones would be happy with just
now, this is a cannon mini wave.
Chicken.
Yeah, this is a cannon mini wave with 4 melees. Come on, Nemesis.
I mean, Trymbi kind of walked to the side, and now he's taking minions with his World Atlas, which makes it pretty obvious that he is not a minion himself. Nemesis doing a good job of reading that and just backing away. Rooster has been relegated to the bottom side of the map to deal with Crownie and Rekkles. Nemesis maybe looking for a recall. as he's trying to protect his razor beaks here for Velja. Boukada is behind him. Trymbi's coming across. Nemesis.
Sneaky.
Boukada's going to get onto Nemesis here. The Weaver's all coming out from Nuke as well as they look for the chase. There's the cease and desist. Nemesis flashing away. A tidal wave for the follow-up onto Boukada, who had to flash himself. Trymbi was stunned by a good bubble, but now Velja's on the wrong side of the wall. Does have to flash out. Rooster joins the fray. The Carling almost connects. Crownie does find one, as Trymbi goes down in the fray.
Somehow Laure comes out on top of that exchange. I thought that was for sure a good pick onto Nemesis, but they actually don't chain the CC with the Taliyah flick that well, and in the end, actually, Nemesis manages to flash out, and Trymbi does go down in that following exchange. So really nice played by Laure, really clutch there, and really important to stabilize the game a little bit, because you are bleeding gold on all your sides, and now getting at least 30 minutes of relief with that Neeko off the map is lovely.
I actually think Rekkles lands a bubble onto Trymbi as he tries to come across. So you've got the CC chain here, cease and desist. Now you look for the flick, they don't get it out. The bubble comes out onto Trymbi, meaning he can't get in there for a good pop blossom immediately. Has to invest it only onto Velja. And then after that, you can see Trymbi chunked out a ton. Crownie lands the pilled over Peacemaker. And Trymbi has to accept the terms.
Really nice there. Really nice healing from Rekkles. He actually provided so much healing in that fight, and I think it baited a lot of shifters. First the ebb and flow, and also his own heal. Just made it that they were deceptively tanky there. They committed so deep, but didn't actually manage to pick up a single kill, and then was a nice return kill there by Crownie. Really like that. Will still be the Rift Herald, and will still be shifters in control of this game, but this is what Laure needs. We were talking about vision lines last game. This is the vision line. Fighting in these zones make it really hard for the enemies to commit deep. And when they are committed and they try to run away, that's when you pounce on their mistake, and that's when you can actually find a decent fight, just like Laure did here.
So far, Rooster has been doing most of the pouncing in this game, as he's now trying to deal with... Roosters can pounce. I mean, Rooster, as a cat, there's some sort of furry thing going on there, man.
We don't judge.
No judgment between the two of us. Nemesis is the one who's having to deal with the cat right now. And with the Rift held up, I wonder if we'll see Boukada coming down towards this bottom lane. Doesn't actually need to apply more pressure in the lane that Rooster's already in, because Rooster is just winning whichever lane he's assigned to. But there is the idea of getting another tower, allowing Rooster to move elsewhere on the map. Right now, Nuke is up towards the top side. He's the one assigned to Baus duty. Baus smartly just jumping away. Trymbi and Boukada are looking for something. Can't quite find it as of yet. Vision control for shifters up towards this top side. There's the Rift Herald. The charge should be enough to take out the tower. With the Drake coming up, shifters are going to use that pressure to then move in towards this bot side jungle, you have to expect, and try and take away that mountain. Drake to charge, not quite enough. That tower must be on like 2 HP.
Oh, man. I mean, in
49,
the end, you're just using this Herald to get control of mid and then control the river, because you don't really care about this mid tower yet. It will go down eventually, but they do want this dragon though. You're having, my lord.
A tidal wave coming out as well. Crownie healed up, flashes.
Not the mid wave, Crownie.
Get him across
not
with
the mid wave.
Taking him out. Crownie dying on a mid-wave overextending. Baus coming in with a body slam. Explosive cast season assist. Going to dodge the CC out of it, but now Boukada's in the middle of Velja. Rekkles, the seismic shove yeets them back into the team. Velja caught out with those tangle buffs. Jumps in with the shield bolt, but doesn't have the damage. And in the end, shifters will win out on the fight.
Man, he just shoved it. Their entire team. That was insane by Nuke. What a great shove. Predicting the flash. Predicting. Just getting a lot of bonus kills there. And Crownie overextending here. Feeling a little bit of false safety, I think, because he had a tower behind him. But that tower is fake, my guy. That tower doesn't live. That's a zombie tower. It's an X tower. It doesn't live right now. It's down, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I'm not making a crazy point. I'm not a crazy man blabbering, yelling at the tree. What's that?
Tower was pushing up the daisies and Crownie joined it. You can see, thinks, I'll get over. Jump away with a 90 caliber net, but can't quite do it. And now Baus TPing in means that Velja and Rekkles feel like they need to look for the re-engage.
Yeah, and it looked quite nice because he got that big shield, and I thought he was actually doing so much here. Gets the kill of Boukada, but this shove by Nuke is just massive. Catches all three of them. It will be 2 more kills in the bag, will be a tower in the bag, and will be a smile on Nuke's face.
I can't blame him. Not often you get to see that sort of synergy of the enemy team, even if you're the one that made it happen that way. Drake eventually for shifters will be taken. Boukada and Paduck are going to clean that one up. 2 items on the AD carries now. Infinity Edge Hex Optics for Crownie. Paduck's got the Essence Reaver, Navori Flicker Blades. Rooster already has his second, and it's a hull breaker on the Nidalee.
Ooh, I like it. I like it because the Hullbreaker coming out for Nidalee is actually quite nice against Gragas, because as Gragas you're used to is walking up to a wave, using your entire spell bar, I guess, on it, and then it just dies.
Yep.
You're happy. You clear the wave and then walk away. But now with the Hullbreaker, suddenly Gragas needs like 2.5 rotations just to kill the cannon minion, and allows that Nidalee to get so many more attacks in on that tower if the Gragas even is there to defend it. But Baus gave up on the tower, now looked for a little bit of a flank play on Paduck, but Paduck didn't really quite walk away all the way up there.
Yeah, didn't overstep, doesn't have his flash and barrier. Paduck wisely just staying close enough to his allies to be defended, but far enough up to add a little bit of possibility for Los Ratones, kind of baiting them into thinking they could make the play happen. Rooster, after pushing out the top side, has now moved into this top side jungle to clear away a little bit of vision of his own. The Weaver's Wall will separate Baus from the rest of his team. Size and shove going wide. Baus with the explosive cast yeets the cannon minion into his team, but the cease and desist is going to catch him out, and now he's knocked back with the Bolt Breaker, and Nuke will secure the kill. Miscoordination there from Los Ratones. Baus going in, the rest of the team on the wrong side of the wall.
I mean, you see how easy the game is when you just have those grubs, you have those pushing lanes. You just walk and you hit the towers, and you kind of dare and get enemy team to stop you, and then it becomes a little bit hard, because I think their Baus felt really pressured that, okay, if I don't go here, they're just going to get our mid-tier 2 tower for free. And we just watched them take it. So I think he felt like he needed to defend that, but wasn't really the angle he was looking for, wasn't really the play they needed, and will just be a tier 2 tower for Shifters, as now LR wants to defend this blue buff. I think they will be successful doing that.
Managed to do it, but without a teleport, Rooster's going to get a lot of time on this tower. Look how quickly he kills it!
That's a ferocious Kit Kat.
It really is. The 3 grubs allowing him just to claw his way through the turret. And Rooster gets a tier 2, and now a 6k gold lead for Shifters. There is still hope for Los Ratones. You know, you do have Nemesis on 2 items. You got 2 items on Crownie.
He picked the cat against the mouse. He's a genius.
Oh, that's actually very smart.
That's so clever. Great draft by Shifters.
And against a fish.
Oh my god, the cat is having a field day. There's fish and rat just consume wherever he goes. That man is so strong.
I mean, that and the fact that he just harassed Baus in lane the entire time.
That's not why it's against the rats.
Nemesis. Realm Warp in behind Paduck. Yeah, that's Trymbi for safety, but how safe is it really? Now with the teleport coming out from Rooster, Los Ratones are going to try and turn onto the Kitty Cat, who immediately flashes away. Tidal Wave onto Paduck. Trymbi looking for the knockup, and he lands it onto Velja. Baus with a good knockback from the explosive cast. Nuke trying to break Paduck, trying to do the damage onto Velja here, but he's getting chased out. Velja with an Aegis Assault. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, Baus getting caught out with a Bolt Breaker. Paduck dodging away from Velja. In the end, will fall, doesn't get one of his own. But Baus and Nemesis go down in response. A Weaver's Wall forward from Nuke as he looks for Crownie. Seismic shove into the unraveled earth. Immediately stuns up the Caitlyn, and Shifters shift their attention towards the Baron.
That Lucian spoke so much Korean. The way he was dashing, he was putting on a show there. I thought that the fight looked really good for LR, because they were using so much. Instantly, the cat has to flash out. The Neeko ult kind of missed, and then I thought, oh, now Paduck is going to die to Velja, but they actually dashed and bought so much time, made it commit so hard for him that the formation kind of fell apart in the end, and it was 2-for-1 in the favor of Shifters.
Looking for Rekkles. Burns the flash out of the Nami. In the end, Shifters will just back away.
Let's take a look at this again.
Paduck does so much in this fight.
I really like this attempt by LR, and now they all shift onto this DP. Baus doesn't really get the body slam, and here Trymbi tries to find a counter engage, but does only end up finding Velja, and this is where the fight breaks out. Velja flashes on Paduck, and it feels like if all of LR can commit on this, it's actually a good fight. But look at Nemesis and Baus in the bot left. They are just fighting 2v4 right now, because the rest of LR is committing on the Lucian, and meanwhile they're trying to hold their position in the mid fight. So ends up breaking the formation of LR. Paduck does such a great job, buying so much time, and as I said, I can't stress this enough, breaking the formation of a team comp so they can't just go as a 5-man and hit whatever's in front is so crucial in these scrappy comps.
You could see Crownie and Rekkles really didn't know where to be. Like, it's like, do we go forward with Nemesis and Baus? Do we go back with Velja? Nemesis looking once again with the Realm Warp there, but doesn't find it. A Medjai's complete for Nuke, as he's got the Book of Confidence, 16 stacks on it. Will we see a fully stacked Medjai? So often you see someone buy this, immediately die, and then have to sell it to go, oh, I'll just buy a Rabadon's or something. You can see he's got a needlessly large rod in his inventory.
You think he got jealous of Baus's books early game? And he was like,
it's possible,
I can do that, but better. I have a bigger book.
Oh, it's like one 16-page book or multiple small books. Taking.
I mean, there's no point comparing book sizes. That doesn't really get right.
They're both perfectly fine. A Weaver's Wall coming out from Nuke as they look for Velja and Baus. The seismic shove isn't going to clip the heels of Velja. And now the Drake has spawned. Looks like Shifters are going to turn their attention towards it.
Yeah, I mean, it is the Dragon. I think here LR just needs to find a little bit of foothold in the top side while they give up this Dragon. Get some vision, get maybe some cheeky wards, you know, if Shifters either camping or starting this Baron later. Because the next play for Shifters will be to shift everything up top side and then threaten this Baron. And then there's two things they can do. They can sit on their vision and wait for LR to face check, or threaten to burn that Baron down, because LR is so cautious with their face check. So now LR, preferably they would have gotten a little bit more vision here. It looks like the Nami had the base, but otherwise you would like to have a few wards in the river so you can actually see what's happening. But instead it would be a little top lane pick here.
Staying around, Trymbi's on his way as a minion.
Cat smelled the mouse.
Rooster able to hit the spear. Now diving forward, Trymbi, pop blossom.
Oh my god, there's
gonna land it on two. Velja dives onto him though instead. Rooster trying to jump in, Nuke coming in from the side as well as they try and get enough men for the fight, and they'll find it. Nuke now unstoppable. Nemesis, even with the Seraph shield, will not have enough health to survive.
And there it is, there's a cannon minion with 3 melees. You think it's normal, you think it's fine and dandy, but it's actually a hidden Neeko on that cannon wave. Finally it happens, and here it will just be the Baron Asher for Shifters. Will be a counter trade, a tower trade for Baus in the bot side, but I think if you're Shifters, you are quite happy with that play. And I would love to get a replay tracking that little Neeko deceiving LR into thinking she's a normal wave.
Have another look at it. Yeah, Rooster smells something's up, puts down the bushwhack trap.
And it looks so natural. 3 melee minions on a cannon wave. You wouldn't think anything is weird, so they turn on him. But look, he's so devious, he's so sneaky, and he's so good. And Taliyah is already behind. They are now pincered completely, and it's just an easy pickup for the Shifters.
You can see Trymbi actually almost missed. He rocket belts forward and almost goes too far. Kind of expecting Los Ratones to back away from it. In the end, a good pick for Shifters. They get the Baron out of it. And now they can use Rooster's side lane pressure with that Spear of Sojourn just to push in 3 items on him, only matched by the AD carries right now. Crownie does have the Lord Dominic's Regards, the Infinity Edge and a Hex Optics, but hasn't really had the chance to utilize the damage that he's developed through this game.
So true, Medic, and I think the options are kind of slipping out of LR fingers. They are just being sieged upon now with these grubs, with so many pushing lanes, and they need to find some kind of flank. They need to find some kind of hard engage. Baus does have flash, and unless you do something soon, you will just lose all your inhibitors, all your towers, and eventually your base as well. So clock is ticking for LR, and here Shifters going.
Wall in by Nuke. Baus having to dodge away from it with that body slam. Grand Starfall coming out as Shifters will look for the disengage into re-engage combo. Tidal Wave
nice
from Rekkles. Disengaging the fight, Shifters able all to survive through it, and although the cannon minion does die, you can see Trymbi's already down with the next wave to give them the extra movement speed to walk forward here. Again, 3 melee minions.
And we're back in the same spot now, but now there's no Nami ult, there's no Pantheon ult, there's no Caitlyn ult. Not that that's too relevant, but still, everything is kind of falling apart now for LR. That was your one attempt. You had to make it happen, and they tried. I think the tidal wave was a really nice attempt, but Rooster's movement just barely dodges it upwards.
Nemesis is not with the team, and it actually looks like Shifters just want to try and take the Nexus towers here. Nemesis pushing forward. We'll have the enhanced recall from that mid lane quest. Shifters will take one Nexus tower. Baus looking for that flank position. Gets onto Paduck, explosive cast to get the knockback, but Trymbi goes in with a pop blossom and finds the back line. Rekkles already down. Velja falling lower, culling out of Paduck. Baus still doing a lot of work. Boukada falling down as well. Paduck has to dodge around everyone here as Nemesis.
Take the full medic!
Overload is blocked.
Hold the full medic!
Trymbi dies! Hold on! Nemesis finds a triple!
And they won the fight!
They won the fight!
They won the fight! They're doing it again! They can't keep getting away with it! Look at this fight! Baus goes onto Paduck, splits up the fight with a great explosive cast, and now look at Nemesis. Look at all the damage he's pumping out. Nuke goes down. Now then Trymbi goes down, Rooster goes down, and here Nemesis is just a machine gun. EQ, 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 just getting them all down, getting so many kills. And what can you do? You just gotta applaud it. Yeah. You just got to applaud it. What a final stand by the Rats. What an attempt to hold on to this game and try to fight back in what seemed to be such a dire situation.
I'd actually love to know if Nemesis getting that mid lane tower finished the actualizer for him. And then he popped that in the fight and it gave him the extra damage. They played it really well anyway. as Nemesis continues to be the shining light for this Los Ratones team.
He really is. Nemesis on this Ryze yesterday and today is putting in such a heavy performance. So heavy is the burden on his shoulders this game, and he needs to put out the damage. But good news for the Rat fans. He has Ghost, he has Flash. He is set up for success right now, and I think if Shifters don't find a good engage on him, he will just shred through their whole team composition. And Nidalee, the time is ticking. You have a Shojin and a Hullbreaker. You are not very strong in a team fight. You want a split push, but if LR can keep finding these 5v5s, keep finding these clutch team fight plays, I think an avenue might be opening up for them.
Rooster currently pushing through the bottom side. Nemesis using that crystalline overgrowth to take down this top tier 1. Bounties have fallen off. The game thinks that Los Ratones are close enough in terms of gold, in terms of kills, not to need that extra gold injection. Will be third Drake of the game for Shifters, 2 Infernals and a Mountain in their inventories.
And for Shifters, you need to keep your mind good. And you need to keep it in a good headspace right now, because sure, you had the game, it was in your grasp, and you kind of missed out on ending it there. But you still got to play the game normally. You got to set up your next objective and go back to the drawing board, because you can't let something like that startle you, because LR, if they are facing against a startled Shifters, they will just destroy them in the team fights.
Yeah. Especially with how strong they're getting now. 4 items on Nemesis and on Crownie. Bloodletter's Curse completed on Baus. Just adding the extra magic was just shred for Nemesis to really rip through Shifters. Baron up in a minute's time.
So Nemesis doesn't have to go MR pen. It's really smart, I think, by LR comp here. Now with Baus being able to shred MR for LR, now Nemesis suddenly doesn't have to buy the Void Staff himself, and allows him to buy even more damage or defensive tools for with the Sonias, for example. So really clever. I really like it. And once again, stars are aligning.
There they are. For Shifters, they'll have memories of the Giant X game. They did lose on the Nexus. They'll take the tier 3 in the mid lane. Nemesis is back to help out his team now. Boukada Vault breaking away. Baus looking for the engage. Explosive cast with the knockback. Nuke going to have to be healed up by Trymbi. Baus falls down to half, but is popped up by the Redemption. Shifters wisely backing away. They don't take the inhibitor. There's double super minions down towards that bottom side, though, that will need to be dealt with. Baus has TP, and the Baron is up in 20 seconds' time.
You can feel the tension now building. Look at his mid-wave coming in. What will Shifters do with this Baron? Are they going to bait it? Are they going to camp on their vision? Or are they just going to try to rush it down? Because no matter what they do, LR will have an avenue to punish that. And LR is now trying to get this mid-push down so they can get a little bit of a peek in this river, see what's happening there. 2 blue trinkets used already. It wasn't optimal, because now suddenly you have no blue trinket on 2 of your people. You only have 1 more to try to face check that later. So have to be careful, have to walk in as a unit, and have to be on the same page.
Only 1 control ward remaining for Shifters, though. Sitting in Trymbi in that quest slot. Rooster's going to start up the Baron. Baus was seen on the bot wave, clearing out the super minions.
It's a tough one. Look at their fog of war here. LR has no idea what's happening. Are they on the Baron? Are they camping for us? They just see a Neeko running out. It's really scary here.
They've got the fast sights, though. They'll try and get the vision in the pit in a moment. Velja looking to get in here as well. Puts the control ward down to his own. Trymbi looking for that flank. Velja looking for the steal. Paduck dodging away, knocked up by the Baron. Baus on the flank, immediately getting popped, but he has the Zhonya's. Boukada having to flash away, and now Rooster caught out by Los Ratones. They find 1. Trymbi going in for the knockup. It's only onto Nemesis, and Nemesis got much of his own. Nuke having to try and escape from the bottom side. The Cullen coming out from Paduck. But Los Ratones have a 4v2 towards the top. Nuke TPing down towards the bot lane, giving up on the Baron, looking for the Nexus.
You gotta get back, you gotta make a decision here. The Baron is off. There's a Taliyah in your base. You have to split up your resources as well. Nemesis goes back to hold the Taliyah, holds the line as the rest of LR is trying to do this. Weaver's Wall is trying to come in. No Realm Warp or Teleport on Nemesis. Can they get this Baron?
Paduck is not there, but Nuke has a ton of damage. 16 stack Medjai's the trap onto Nuke. Almost the Baron killing off Los Ratones, but they survive through it. Velja able to get the smite down. Trymbi trying to escape Tangle Baus. Paduck dodging in, but Baus knocks him back and knocks him down!
Not today, Paduck, says Baus as he denies the entire play. Shifters is falling apart as Nuke tries to find a pick on the Velja, but he's still taking, he doesn't die! He doesn't go down! Nemesis and the boys have held on. They have gotten the Baron, they defended their base, and now they will try to push for the win themselves. Look at the Baron, the 6th man of LR knocks up Paduck here. Look at Paduck, but the Baron dashes in to the Baron knockup, and now the entire formation breaks up, and there is just a slow collapse of the Shifters team comp, and Nemesis does so much. He's so tanky, does so much damage. What can't he do?
is that Zhonya's, those luxury items we talked about really coming up for Los Ratones. Baus and Nemesis able to survive. Trymbi not able to find the backline really. And because of how split the fight was, Shifters just couldn't find purchase now.
And we talked about the frustration, we talked about the emotions going through Shifters. When you lose a push like that, knowing the crowd is against them, hearing the screams every single time LR gets a fight. This next dragon is very important. There will not be a soul for Shifters to take, as now it's LR on the siege. Trying to send Crownie down there. We know how strong Caitlyn is when she gets to hitting that tower.
Crownie has Guardian Angel now as well. Recall coming out from Baus does have that teleport. The Baron-empowered recall allowing them back to base that much quicker. The Weaver's Wall coming out, trying to stop some of those ports, but with Baus back in base, Rooster has to stop his advance. Los Ratones do need to deal with some of these waves, mid and top being pushed in. Their inhibitor has respawned on the bottom side, and now Shifters trying to use this time to get some vision around this Drake would be solved for them if they can secure it. Rooster working his way through the mid lane, ace in the hole coming out from Crownie. Boukada. See perhaps if there was a way in.
Shifters have to fight now. The time is not in their favor. Their Nidalee is falling off by the second. They need to fight this dragon, because if you let LR get this dragon, if you let them stabilize the map again, if you let them set up their vision line, I don't think it's getting better for Shifters, as this Nidalee is slowly falling down. Now Drake picked up for LR, and Baus suddenly, the bet was there. The bet was to shut down Baus in the lane, but somehow he's still standing. He's looking stronger than ever, and is holding on as he's looking for... Okay, calm down a little bit, buddy. You're not there yet, but... the game is looking so much better for LR, and this Nidalee is becoming a burden on the Shifters team comp.
Baus is higher level than Rooster. He has a level lead over Rooster, who hasn't had the chance to actually enact any of his side lane pressure over the last few minutes. The Baron will wear off in a wave's time. Los Ratones don't have a Realm Warp available to bring those minions any closer to the inhibitor. They still have a tier 2 standing here as well, with Rooster down towards the bottom side. Los Ratones should be able to just chunk out this tier 2 tower. Baron expiring in 7 seconds. Trymbi caught out by Velja. Boukada going in, but Velja still has a Guardian Angel here. Baus looking for an engage. The Redemption coming out will top up Velja's health bar. Nuke has a Weaver's Wall, but the inhibitor tower, the target for Crownie and Nemesis. No wave for them, though, means they cannot get it right now. The next wave coming in about 3 seconds' time. Los Ratones continue to push forward. Nuke is nowhere near. He's looking for that flanking Weaver's Wall, but really doesn't have a way in. Gold is Medjizes. Baus finds the engage. Paduck almost caught out. Baus dodges across.
There it is!
And down goes the Duck. It's hunting season for Baus. Nemesis trying to chunk out Trymbi. A cease and desist onto Nemesis. The Seraphs and the Zhonya's shields topping them up. There is the knockback with the Cyclone Shovel. Pop Blossom going in as well. Vedius going to come back with a GA. The Crownie GA as well. It's all on Nuke and Rooster. Try and get the damage down. Reset coming out from Nemesis. They cannot end yet. Nuke trying to keep Los Ratones interested, and they're damn well interested! Nuke atomized by Los Ratones. Trymbi and Rooster, the last two standing.
Nuke tries to find the counterplay, tries to bring it back, but with two beautiful side steps and an amazing cast by the Baus. Somehow, somewhere, they brought this game back from a complete carnage.
Baus, you beautiful man, absolutely brings it back. Los Ratones, 2 in a row. From nowhere, from nothing, they rise from the ashes. Los Ratones claim another victory.